Our story begins in the quiet of a new dawn, with smoke coiling from a hearth. For millennia, we moved with the seasons. But then, a revolutionary pause. We planted seeds, we waited, and we harvested. This single act gave rise to the first settlements, and with a surplus of food came something new: time. Time to build walls, to perfect a craft, to establish rules. As societies grew, human memory alone was no longer enough to track the growing web of promises and debts. A new tool was needed. In a quiet hall, a scribe presses inked reeds into damp clay, making memory durable. With writing, laws could govern millions, and empires could scale across continents. From the grand halls of Persia to the courts of Han China and the forums of Rome, newly built roads and standardized coinage stitched together vast and diverse populations. But what truly makes distant strangers one people? It is the power of shared ideas. Great faiths like Judaism, Hinduism, and Buddhism provided a moral compass, telling communities who they were and what their duty was. Later, Confucianism, Christianity, and Islam would shape entire civilizations, linking the family to the ruler and earthly justice to a divine order. These beliefs traveled, carried in caravans along the Silk Road, and guided by monsoon winds across the Indian Ocean. This exchange accelerated the pace of change. Paper, gunpowder, and the compass, technologies that spread along these ancient routes, reshaped knowledge, warfare, and navigation. Even as the Black Death shattered populations, it cleared the way for a new world. Humanity was ready to test the very edge of the map. With sails full of ambition, ships crossed the restless seas, weaving together the first truly global marketplace. These ocean crossings fused continents. The Columbian Exchange moved crops, animals, and microbes across the Atlantic, rewiring diets and empires forever. Immense wealth from silver and sugar was extracted, often built upon the brutal foundation of the Atlantic slave trade. But these ships carried more than goods. They carried questions. The telescope and the printing press quickened the pace of inquiry, sparking the Enlightenment. If we could challenge the old ideas about the heavens, why not the divine right of kings? This debate spilled into assemblies and streets. From the Americas to France and Haiti, revolutions redrafted the meaning of sovereignty, insisting that rights belonged to the many, not the few. Then came the age of steam and steel. The Industrial Revolution shrank distance and expanded production, but it also fueled new conquests and bitter resistance. The 20th century saw order shattered by 2 world wars and unimaginable genocide. In their wake, empires crumbled, and the United Nations offered a new chamber for global argument. A tense Cold War divided the planet, yet beneath the surface, new circuits were connecting markets and minds. Today, we live within the next great revolution, one of information and biotechnology. The device in your hand, the food on your table, the very code of life itself, all are part of this long arc. Now, in a world facing the shared challenge of climate change, that history urges us to choose our next turn wisely.